gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. This is what's on the show today. A look at the impressive Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden that has officially opened for the season in Kashmir. A whistle-stop tour around the world for some exciting helicopter adventures from Australia to the Grand Canyon. Cherry blossom season in spots around the world and another similar occurrence in northern Greece you might not have heard of. Let's begin. The Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden in Kashmir has officially opened. So get ready to explore the park, home to over 1 million colorful tulips of many varieties.
A floral wonderland in India's charming city of Srinagar, overlooking the world-famous Dal Lake. Below the Zabarwan Hills, the popular Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden opened to public on the 23rd of March. And since then, Asia's largest tulip garden has welcomed tens of thousands of tourists.
First of all,
Tulip Garden is an internationally recognized garden and it plays an important role for the tourism sector in Kashmir Valley. We always try to add new attractions to the garden every year, and this time too, we have added floral surprises. We have introduced new vibrant color schemes. With 5 new varieties, 1.7 million tulips will be blooming in the garden this year.
The garden boasts a record 1.7 million tulip bulbs spreading over 55 hectares of land. This year, 5 new varieties of tulips have been added to the existing 68 varieties. Besides tulips, other varieties of flowers include hyacinths, daffodils, mascari, and cyclamens, all adding to the garden's appeal. It is no doubt then that the garden is one of the top favorite locations for shooting films and other projects in India.
The garden opens for a month and we saw 370,000 visitors last year, and this year we are hopeful that we will break all the previous records this season. Our planting pattern depends on the blooming period, and we have given a schematic planting of these tulips this year. And from next year onwards, we will have cherry blossom trees.
The Tulip Garden in Srinagar goes back to 2008, when it was started with just 50,000 tulip bulbs imported from the Netherlands. Did you know that around 365,000 tourists, including 3,000 foreigners, visited the garden last year? Interestingly, the blooming of tulip flowers would last only for 15 to 20 days. After that, these magnificent flowers wilt away. Kashmir's beloved garden is once again poised for another record footfall.
When visiting any new destination, soaring over it in a helicopter is often one of the most exclusive ways to get an overview of the landscape. In our next story, we show you some exciting helicopter adventures you can have, from Australia's Phillip Island to the Grand Canyon.
Welcome to Alula in Saudi Arabia. Welcome to a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Today we're taking you on a heart-pounding helicopter ride over the enchanting landscapes of Alula, Saudi Arabia. When the massive helicopter we've lined up comes roaring in, I can already feel the excitement in the air. I make a move to get a seat in this huge helicopter that can seat up to 12 people plus 2 pilots. The helicopter maneuvers around the Maria Concert Hall, showcasing its reflective beauty against the desert backdrop. This impressive building is the largest mirrored building in the world. As we soar through the clear skies, we can finally take in the majestic beauty of the region. One of the first things we spot from the air is the resort we're staying in, the Banyan Tree, with its villas dotting the landscape. Over the next ridge of massive rock formations, we spot another resort further away, a luxurious resort called Habitas. We pass stunning rock formations, ancient tombs and sweeping desert dunes. From the sky we can see the vibrant colors of the desert. From ancient history to modern marvels, every twist and turn offers a new visual feast. The famous Elephant Rock is a natural wonder that stands tall amidst the Arabian desert. The helicopter ride also passes the old city, where remains of the ancient city of Alula are clearly visible. The adventure concludes with a panoramic view of Alula's landscape as the helicopter gracefully descends. What an incredible journey! Alula, you've stolen our hearts from the sky. Until next time, fellow adventurers, keep exploring. Over to the United States now. If you're traveling through the country, the Grand Canyon is one tourist site that is on countless people's itineraries. If your stamina allows, one of the best ways to explore it is a trek from one side to the other. Or if you have the cash, soaring over the impressive natural world wonder in a helicopter. Experiences like these can cost $600 and even include flying from Las Vegas to return on a tour of around 4 hours. Embark on the adventure of a lifetime and soar over one of the world's most awe-inspiring natural wonders, the Grand Canyon. Following the path of the Colorado River, you will be reminded of the immense power of nature and the forces that shaped this breathtaking landscape. As you fly over the canyon, you are treated to panoramic views that few ever experience. The sheer size and beauty of this natural wonder are truly humbling. Although it has long been believed that the Grand Canyon started being carved by the Colorado River around 6 million years ago, a 2012 study revealed a shocker, suggesting it could be around 70 million years old. The Grand Canyon is, in fact, one of the most studied geological landscapes on Earth. If you ever have a chance to go for such an exclusive experience as a helicopter ride in the United States, you should definitely try it. The city of Melbourne is as scenic as it is diverse. From the fabled sports stadiums to its historic markets, Melbourne doesn't shy away from dishing up a spectacular visitor experience. Venturing out of the city, the road takes us through the beautiful scenery of the countryside of Victoria. After crossing the only bridge leading to Phillip Island, the first stop is at Phillip Island Helicopters. Before being allowed to take off, I must sign a liability waiver. I also get a safety briefing.
It's very important with helicopters that we always approach and depart from the front of the helicopter. Yeah. We don't want to go anywhere near the danger area at the back. Right. So pretty much.
Time to jump into the chopper and get started. Chad tells me we can remove the door as long as I don't stick my hand outside. More on that later.
Ready to go.
But before moving, Chad tells me how the instruments and procedures work.
So we sit at 55 feet above sea level. This is my airspeed indicator. So airspeed will be different to ground speed depending where the wind's coming from.
Yeah.
I have an engine RPM and a rotor RPM. I'll tell you why there's two in a second.
Yeah.
My VSI, so how high or how low and how quickly I'm doing it. And this is my manifold pressure, so that's how much power I'm using from the engine.
The small helicopter is very light and nimble, and as the rotors pick up speed, everything is moving, and before we know it, we're airborne. Phillip Island is located around 140 kilometers southeast of Melbourne. This idyllic small island is home to many adventure activities and is most famous for its penguin parade. Chad takes me over the island points of interest, including a shipwreck that is half submerged. The main town, Cowes, has its tree-lined main street stretching up from the jetty, where the boat tours depart from. From this helicopter ride, we can see the lay of the land and also get a bird's-eye view of things we can explore once we're back on terra firma. We pass Seal Rocks, where thousands of seals congregate, a popular spot for boat tours. This brief time in the air has made me reflect on what a fantastic lifestyle it must be to have a job like Chad's.
Cherry blossom season is in full swing worldwide as majestic cherry trees spring into bloom. In our next story, we take you around the world to see how this looks in different locations.
The delightful season of cherry blossoms is upon us. Trees around the world are in full bloom, loaded with these beautiful soft pink flowers. Let's take a trip across the globe and spot cherry blossoms in their full glory. This is Guchen Park, Shanghai's traditional spot for witnessing cherry blossoms. The park's winding wooden walkway through the early cherry blossom forest has become the most beautiful spot for taking pictures. Dotted with pink blossoms all along the way, it conjures up a fresh atmosphere.
We have a large area of Yoshino cherry trees in the park. This year, we have also created a late cherry blossom forest, where we've concentrated on planting some yellow-green late cherry flowers. The entire flowering period will last until mid to late April.
The recently held 2024 Shanghai Cherry Blossom Festival witnessed over 5,000 visitors. According to the park management, the number of varieties has gone up from 110 to 120. From strolling along the cherry blossom trails to getting photos clicked to wearing traditional costumes, everyone was seen enjoying the spring season.
I specially bought a set of pink hafu to match the cherry blossoms.
I wore a Chinese-style horse face skirt, which echoes the beautiful cherry blossoms.
Let's tell you now about Munich's Olympic Park. Visitors and trees alike were radiant in the beautiful German weather, with sunshine and blue skies in backdrop. Did you know that these cherry trees were planted in 1972 and were a gift from the northern Japanese city of Sapporo? The Japanese cherry blossoms in the Olympic Park have become a highlight for social media users in Munich. Crowds of people visit the park to marvel at this spectacular natural wonder. In London too, the flowering cherry trees became a visual treat for visitors at this royal park. Near the city centre in Regent's Park, one can witness over 100 cherry trees. The pastel pink flowers are a traditional symbol of the start of spring.
They are available in early spring, but beyond that, that's the only time you're going to see them flower. So it's really critical you get down to the royal parks and come and have a look at this particular point in time, just to really, savour the different colour.
Each year during this season, thousands of visitors descend on the quad at the University of Washington in Seattle with one curious goal in mind: to see the cherry blossom trees in full bloom.
So I've been visiting this place for 11 years right now. So still coming here for this magical, scene.
The 29 Yoshino cherry trees at this site are famous for their cloud-like blooms. The trees were initially planted in the nearby Washington Park Arboretum and remained there until 1962, when development in the city required their relocation. Of the original cherry trees, 27 are now more than 90 years old. With winters now over and warmer temperatures creeping across the Pacific Northwest, the buds bloomed a week earlier than initially anticipated.
Now we've seen cherry trees bloom, but have you ever heard of the pink peach blossom that occurs in northern Greece? Our next report will tell you more.
Greece, known for its ancient architectural marvels and scenic sites by the sea. It's one of the most exotic travel destinations in the world. But did you know you could also visit Greece for its peach blossoms? Every year, the Emathia region of northern Greece celebrates the arrival of spring beneath a spectacular blanket of pink peach tree blossoms. This is especially true for the quaint city of Veria, where a majority of farmers cultivate peaches, transforming the place into a mesmerizing sight.
There is a great interest by the people for this 1 month, from March when the trees start flowering to mid-April. It gets better each year because a lot of people visit the plains and newlyweds take pictures of the peach blossoms. It is a beautiful sight, even for us farmers who have been living it daily, and there are a lot of nice performances.
The city's tourism authority organized bike rides and hikes through peach orchards, allowing them to soak in the beauty of the wonderful pink blossoms. A blossom-themed photography contest also wowed the visitors. And that's not all. Local merchants also joined the festivities, offering the area's special sour grapevine to all the attendees.
The goal is to create tourist value out of a farm product. I think we have succeeded in making flowers part of Greece's tourism. We were the first to do that, and it gets bigger with each passing year.
From Shanghai to Seattle and even here in Greece, the spring season, get out of your home and witness the beauty of nature.
Over to Indonesia's Bali now for a unique festival known as the Day of Silence. It is celebrated the day before their New Year, when streets are empty, airports are closed for 24 hours, and the internet is turned off. Take a look.
Several communities around the world are celebrating New Year, coinciding with the onset of the spring season in their respective regions. This March, the island of Bali observed the Hindu New Year. Let's tell you more about the unique traditions of the Hindu community based on this Indonesian island. The first ritual is Melasti, a purification ceremony, an act of symbolic cleansing. As the sun rises, white-clad Hindu devotees carry palanquins with idols. They then dip their feet in the ocean and leave offerings on the beach. Next, the night before the New Year's Day is celebrated with the loud Ogo Ogo parade. Giant scary figures symbolizing evil spirits are carried and burnt. Initially beginning with mythological evil spirits, the practice today has widened to include metaphoric representations of evil in the present-day modern world. And then arrives the most significant occasion, the Day of Silence, locally known as Nyepi. It marks the start of a new year as per the Balinese Saka calendar. Having been in place since 78 AD, it is believed to help cleanse the island of demons and start the next year fresh. Everything comes to a standstill for a day starting at 6 a.m. Airport shut for 24 hours, no internet access, and the streets are all empty. Even the island's world-famous beaches and all of its public spaces are closed to the visitors. People stay indoors, covering their windows and keeping the lights off on this sacred day of reflection. And then the next day is full of a fun ritual known as Mebug Bugan. People rub the mud from a mangrove forest on each other. It's regarded as a means of purification and washing away any negative energy for a prosperous new year. A one-of-a-kind tradition for sure.
That's all we have for you on this week's program, but we'll return again with another episode next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.